is Ashley Eckstein, voice of Ahsoka Tano, and thank you for listening to the Super Awesome Geek Show.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's been a while since we've had a live stream, but today we got a special stream going on. We got a special guest. Sam is back to join us. Hello, Sam.
Hi, I've sorted the yellow thing. Just before we spoke, the light was hitting me in a way that made me look very jaundiced. I think I've corrected that now.
Yeah. You don't look as yellow, but hey, it would have been okay anyways, you know?
It was pretty yellow.
Yeah. Bazer's here. Hello, Baz. Welcome. Hello, John and chat. And Tom is here waiting for the show to begin. Hi, Tom. How you doing? So I have pinned a link to the top. You got anyone who's in the chat is welcome to pop in and join and say hello. I didn't. None of our regular co-hosts could make it today. So it's just you and me, Sam.
So Aishis is doing some quiz or something, as I understand it.
Yeah, he might be. I think that was just finishing up, but we'll see.
Oh, is there a possibility he'll be
maybe popping? Yeah, we don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. The quiz that was going on with the guys over on Stu's channel, I believe should be ending any minute now if it hasn't already. I tried to plan this to be after his quiz, but we'll you know.
Oh right, that was the intention, was it? Okay, cool.
Yeah. But sometimes that could run long. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Sam, how have you been? How have you been? This is the time we spoke.
You?
Been all right.
I'm busy with the current Kickstarter, which is Cabra Cini Voodoo Junkie Hitwoman 0. But the other issues are available. Cabra Cini, for those not familiar, is an ex-hooker who swapped her addiction to crack for an addiction to voodoo. When her life was on the line with her boyfriend/pimp, she kind of employed voodoo to take care of him, but it didn't quite do the job, so it involved her pulling a gun on him as well, and she found the combination of the two, voodoo and guns, quite exciting, and has forged a new vocation as an interdimensional hit woman.
Yeah, and I don't know. Does she still have a pet werewolf?
Well, the pet werewolf comes in at the beginning of Cabra Cini 1, but then he gets into a fight with crazy neo-Nazi Whiteout and comes off worse for wear. But he does reappear. He does reappear at the end of. There's a 4-issue Voodoo Junkie Hitwoman mini-series, which this deluxe version of Cabra Cini Voodoo Junkie Hitwoman 0 precedes this mini-series. So yes, the pet werewolf, no longer a pet, still a werewolf, does re-emerge.
Yep. Yeah, so this one will take place before what we've already read then, right?
Yeah, if you've read the miniseries, as I say, that's available as well. But what this does is it leads into like everything. So the miniseries, there's an interdimensional Hitwoman one-shot, and then following that is what everything's building towards, which is going to be the Geek Girl Cabra Cini crossover, which I'm working on at the moment and excited about.
Yep. Cool. Well, let me bring it up here. I've got the thing shared. We're going to bring up your Kickstarter and take a quick look at it.
Cool.
Because I was impressed with the numbers again. Once again, you know, Sam, I always think that you're you hit your goals pretty quickly, and then it just keeps building. I I looked at this earlier today and it was under 2,000. So you've probably gained around $600 since I looked at it.
Nice.
Really, really good, yeah. And I backed the. Let me see if we can go into what the. Yeah, so this is Cabra Cini Voodoo Junkie Hitwoman #0. He says, take Jessica Jones, Deadpool, and Doom Patrol and blend. You get a supernatural gun for hire, Cabra Cini.
Cini, John, the love of God.
Yeah,
Cini.
Cabra Cini. Okay, yes.
Everyone pronounces it Cini.
Everybody wants to say it that way, right? Yeah. Oh, you put a little funded within 48 hours banner up, I see.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool because it's still 18 days to go. I can see on it, so it's still got a long way to go. And it's, as I say, this is kind of an introduction to Cabra. So if you've already followed her miniseries, you've got that. But what's new in the deluxe version of Zero is her origin story is coloured by. There's a real overlap thing going on with Geek Girl and Chun Zhao. The origin story previously appeared in the regular edition of Cabra Cini Voodoo Junkie Hitwoman 0, and that was in black and white. And now Chunlin's coloured it, and she's the regular colorist on Geek Girl. So that's that, and it's got this cool limited variant cover, which you can see in the profile picture there. But yeah, there's a real overlap going on between the Geek Girl and Cabra team because the Flynn Douglas, who illustrated that, has done limited variants that turn out great for Geek Girl. And it's going to be even more of an overlap when we get into this crossover because it will involve the artists of Cabra and the artists of Geek Girl, C. Grander and Fernando Malik.
Cool. Yeah, I backed one of the variant covers, I think. So he's got a preview. You got a preview here, which shows some of the interior art. Very cool.
And that's C. Grander. So what the mini set, the deluxe Zero does is, as I say, it's got the origin story for Versum and Color, and then it collects everything from the issues of Geek Girl that relate to Cabra Cini and the subplot that will become the main plot in the crossover. So it's a really good jumping on point for both series, really.
Cool. That'll run us right into the crossover, right?
Yeah, and this is what kicks it all off. This is Jacob Trencher, who's a drug dealer, opens the door to get shot, left for dead, but he's dabbling in occult magic, and he manages to pull himself back using that, and that's what also leads him to hire Cabra to find and take out his assailant. And there's a connection between who this assailant is, which is not revealed till later, and Geek Girl's super team.
Yep. Hey, look, we got Baz joining us here. Hello, Bazzer.
Hello, Baz. Hello.
Now, Baz, where are you? You know, you're north of Sam. Sam's in Sheffield.
I'm Scotland. I'm probably maybe 4 hours, 5 hours drive, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe more.
So how you doing, Baz?
I'm good.
Yeah. All right. If you got any questions for Sam along the way, let us know. Baz is a comic reader as well, Sam. He's into just about everything, aren't you, Baz? You read a little bit of everything, DC, Marvel, don't you?
Yes, I do.
What are you into at the moment, particularly, Baz?
Majorly has Harley Quinn, as John knows.
yeah, that's his favorite.
Are you reading the current?
Actually, today I actually picked up a new comic. I found it in the book sale this morning, and it's Ben Grimm and Wolverine before the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
I'm going to be reading that to see what that's like.
Interesting.
Are either of you reading Deadpool at the moment?
No.
I've got a stack to go through and read, but I haven't caught up. No, I'm probably like, that stack's probably a good 10 issues or so. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm way behind on everything, but I don't know if you're aware of where things are going with this. There's this villain called Death Grip who's been trying to work out a way to kill him, and that is where they're going to go with it. They kind of threatened to do that before in the Dead arc with Daniel Way, but didn't really.
I don't know if you've seen the ones, John, or no. I'll just show one off just to.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like
No,
shield agents, or
I ain't got a clue yet. I've still got to read them.
Yeah. You just.
I managed to get. The guy had the first 3 issues, so I bought the first 3. I've got the first 3 issues.
Yeah. I don't know if I ran across that one before now.
no, I'm not familiar with that.
But also, 2 weekends ago, I actually picked up some vintage comics as well from the 70s and the 80s.
Oh, nice. Well, let's keep taking a look at what that Sam's thing here. So we got, the guy that was gunned down. We'll find out by reading the comic who did that.
Yeah, and what we're looking at now here is the announcement from entrepreneur Johnny Carlisle setting up Ruby K, aka Geek Girl, the former It Girl turned superheroine, setting up her super team, which, as I said, is going to be a connection. That's kind of what links Cabra to them.
Yep. And this is still the press.
Yeah, so this is the press junket when they're announcing it.
Yeah.
And then what we've got following this is Cabra utilizes this dimension called the Infinite, which is Limbo's crazy cousin locked in the attic, which she's found a way to abuse using her bastardized version of voodoo magic to use as a shortcut between where she is and wherever she wants to go, which in this case is finding the assailant of Jacob Trencher, who has disappeared. They don't know where they are, but this, using her magic, gets there. She basically has to make her way through the Infinite, and at the other side of where she's going, another portal will open, which will take her directly to who she's targeting. But the ruler of the Infinite, the Rook, doesn't like her abusing the dimension this way, so throws everything at her that he can, and that's psychologically and physically to dissuade her from using it. So
Yeah. I like these two guys there, that come up. Something new altogether. Great intro, tons of promise, dark and rich storyline, lots of good reviews.
Yeah.
So everybody who worked on it is here on the page. And then this is the normal cover for the Zero Deluxe.
Yeah, which is an homage to, there was a John Byrne cover of Fantastic Four where you had the four, and you can't really see it from this distance, but it sort of replicates them, and the story's into the infinite. So that's kind of what that's about. So there on there you've got Jacob, and you've got his ex to his right, and then a mysterious woman to Cabra's right who is in the infinite for some reason, pretending to be Christina, who's the one between Jacob and Cabra, pretending to be her sister. There's some weird shit going on.
Yeah.
Christina is aware that this girl is pretending to be Lisa, her sister. This is the Rook's trying to make her feel at home by basically creating a facsimile of her real world. The reason she's in there in the first place is that she's in a coma and her soul is trapped in limbo.
Gotcha. And then we have the variant cover here that we've been seeing the art all around for.
Yeah, a really, really great cover. Flynn Douglas.
Yeah.
So of that. And Chun-Lin on the colours again. Chun-Lin always smashes it with the colours.
This is the 4-issue miniseries regular editions.
Yeah, so you can get them in regular, you can get them in limited variant, you can get them digital. It's all the Cabra issues are on there.
Yeah, the variants.
And this is the one that follows the miniseries, which is the Interdimensional Hitwoman one-shot, which is the direct prelude to the Cabra Geek Girl crossover. And that's the limited variant of that by Carlos Villas, which is great as well.
Yep.
So that's the deluxe version of it, where you get a mini print, numbered mini print of the Geek Girl Cabra crossover called Exodus.
I think I did back this.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah. That's a cool cover.
Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah. Carlos again has worked on Cabra limited variants for Geek Girl as well as Cabra before. Yeah.
Oh, and there's the collector's pack.
Yeah, so that gives you, whereas the Voodoo Junkie Hitwoman Zero Deluxe has all the stuff from Geek Girl that leads to the crossover pertaining to Cabra, this gets you the full issues as well as the Cabra issues.
Gotcha. And then there's a bunch of add-ons you can do, yeah.
Yeah. There's more
Cool.
like limited variants for issue 1.
Yeah. Cool. Hey Gerard, how you doing?
Hey Gerard.
Hey Vader's girl.
Let's go.
G-Force, how you doing?
Hello.
Hey Ghosty. So everyone should be heading over. The trivia just ended. Yeah, sorry about that, Ghost. I was hoping that this would start right when the trivia ended, but I guess the trivia went over a little bit. I should have done 4:30. I don't know, but I thought his show was only about an hour long, so I was hoping that it would end and then ours would start. I didn't really want to try it. I didn't want to overlap it, but I guess it happened a little bit. Hey, Gilster, how you doing?
So all of these are coming from the trivia thing, then, are they?
Probably, yeah. They had Dino, Shabby, and Rum. Yeah, I checked out a little bit of it. Yeah, Dino, Shabby, Rum. Yeah, of course it was going to go over, and unfortunately, Rum won. Oh no, Rum was on it. He was going to run long. Yeah, he's like, Rum was on it. Of course it was going to run long.
So what was this trivia contest?
Stu on Stu's channel over at Universal Toy Collector, he does a Sunday evening trivia thing for about an hour where he gets guests to come on and he asks trivia questions about this time. The original one was all about Star Wars, and now this one is all about pop culture, mostly movies, so it can be any topic within like about certain films. So actors who played in the films, or like she says, some of the questions are ridiculously hard. Yeah.
Right.
And Mod says, yes, we're all coming over from then. Yeah. But it wasn't too bad this week. Yeah. I watched a little bit of the beginning and but then had to go prep for this because like I said, I was hoping it wouldn't overlap, but it's all right. It only went a few minutes, right? Yeah, it's not that bad.
Well, one way or another, our audience was going to show up late because obviously very similar. The England Euros match was on, so
okay, there you go.
Most of our audience had that on one screen, and the quiz on another.
Junkie, how you doing? G4 says today was soundtracks and musicals. There's always some musical stuff that finds its way in there, yeah. Well, we're talking Cabra Cini, Voodoo Junkie Cini, yeah. Cabra Cini, Voodoo Junkie Hitwoman. And the Kickstarter going on right now for the Zero Deluxe issue. And yeah, Sam is telling us all about it. Aisha's here. Hello, Aisha. How you doing? We made it. So, Baz, have you seen any of the Geek Girl or the Cabra Cini stuff yet?
I haven't, no.
What do you think of it so far, looking at that preview there on the Kickstarter?
Yeah, it looks amazing. Like,
yeah.
I have a question for Sam. Is it how did they come up with the character?
Well, this is Grant Morrison's run on Doom Patrol is my biggest influence, and that kind of pervades both series. And as a result of that, I was able to sort of, when coming up with stuff, think in weird mode. And the Cabra Cini, I just wrote stream of consciousness, this character walking around a supermarket smoking a cigarette and abusing the staff, and it sort of went from there. And that scene is in the Zero issue. But yeah, it's certainly, I don't think would exist without Grant Morrison's. I don't know how familiar you two are with it, but extremely out there on Doom Patrol.
Nice.
Which played a massive part in the TV show as well. Big influence.
Occasionally I pop onto, I don't know if you know Rex from Devil Flyers, but I occasionally pop onto his one, and he's middle doing like a Kickstarter as well to try and get his comic started. So I'm kind of learning a little bit about it, how folk come up with their characters, and kind of get to meet other creators that are actually making other comics. Because there's one guy, I can't remember the name of the comic, but it's a cowboy octopus, John.
I've come across that.
It is amazing, man.
I do like my octopi, so yeah, that cowboy octopus. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one's come out with that before.
No, but we've been, Sam and I, we go all the way back to when I was just doing podcasting and not even on YouTube, right, Sam? It's been almost from the beginning, right? I mean, really, it's been 6-7 years, I think. I don't even know how long, but yeah, and seems like every 6 to 8 months you come on and give us an update and talk about what's going on. So it's good to keep in touch with you, Sam.
Yeah. No,
I've been doing my live stream, John, but I have been a little bit quiet over the last few months. But you know yourself why I've kind of been quiet. So I'm just now trying to get back in and back into the swing of it, kind of thing.
Yeah. Matt, how you doing?
Hey, Matt.
Just like yesterday, I found a wee treasure trove.
That's good. Yeah.
I think you've seen it.
Quite a treasure trove you've got in the background there.
Yeah, he's an avid collector of comics and toys. Yeah.
I have Star Wars, probably majority Marvel, Star Wars, Transformers. I've got Kamen Riders, Spawn. I do have a few Fortnite figures. Only pick up the Fortnite figures that I like. He-Man, Turtles.
A little bit of everything.
That shelf there is got new stuff that I picked up yesterday.
Huh. Yeah, that G.I. Joe find was cool. I liked that one.
But did you ever see these in the States, John?
I don't recall that. What is that one?
This is Laser Wars.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
From 1998.
Yeah, I remember Laser Wars. I did run across a couple of those, but I don't know. I never collected it or really got into it. But I remember hearing about it, yeah.
I've been gradually picking figures up for it. So I've started off with 2, now I've got 4, plus I've got a vehicle. Vehicles are very hard to come by in good condition like this one is. It's a little
Yeah,
bit dirty, but it needs a little TLC.
That's pretty cool.
I just seen it on the guy's dead, and I was like, "Oh, I recognize that."
So Sam, we've got another we got 18 more days, right? And
yeah, so for those that have joined us, well, I think you've got the link there, but CABRACINI.com links you straight to the Kickstarter. Cabra Cini Voodoo Junkie Hitwoman Deluxe Zero. A great jump on point for Cabra. And it's got a ways to go. Doing well. All building towards the Geek Girl Cabra crossover.
yeah. And when do you hope to get that crossover going? You said you were already working on it, right?
Yeah. I'm working on the third issue of the script at the moment. So Fernando's already working on the art for the first issue, and it's come a long way. It's like there's stuff in it that I wrote when I was just starting out that was intended for a different series that I've used. And you know, when you're just starting out, when you come back to it, not everything really, you didn't know what you were doing so much. This was something that was never published, but like I put quite a lot into making everything work, because it's obviously quite a weird situation, this whole, you know, the infinite dimension that she goes through, and what happens with that is, like, as I say, the Rook, the ruler of the infinite, wants to stop Cabra abusing the dimension to find her hits. So he throws everything at her, psychological and physically. And what happens in this Zero issue is he also drugs her so he can, like, mentally mess with her. So he gets to basically bombard her with her most traumatic experiences. And there's an agenda to all this that actually goes beyond stopping her coming through on this occasion, which involves this Christina character, who's hey Lisa, thank you, Lisa. Christina character who's lost in limbo because she's in a coma. Her body's in hospital, so it's quite weird, but to make everything actually make sense, because you don't entirely know what's going on until we get some way into it. But yeah, I've done quite a lot of work on it and a lot of development of it, and pleased with where it's going. And it's going to be a big deal for both Cabra and Geek Girl. Neither of them will be the same at the end of it. So it's not like a thing where it's just contriving them to have a fight with each other. This is something that is going to have a bigger impact.
Yeah. And now, when we get to the crossover, is it going to continue like the numbering for the ongoing series for Geek Girl and for Cabra Cini, or is it going to be a special, separate sort of numbering story?
I mean, this is all kind of a bit malleable, partly depending on which artists work on what part. But the intention at the moment is you'll have Cabra Cini / Geek Girl Exodus 1, and then the next chapter will be in an issue of Geek Girl, and the next chapter will be in an issue of Cabra Cini. That's the plan as it stands.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then will you have an end cap issue on its own as well, or?
Yeah, there'll be like an aftermath thing, which, as I say, when we get to that point, things are going to be different.
Yeah. Dino, how you doing? I didn't get to see the end, but I heard you lost, Dino. Yeah, it was my intention to have this start when you guys ended, but I guess you guys went over a little bit, so it's okay. Because I didn't want to cross over, but you know, it is what it is.
So how do you come up with ideas for your stories then, Sam? Do you take it from normal day stuff that's gone about, or do you just have that brain that kind of comes up with weird stuff? Like what I do when I come with my customs, I always have weird ideas on how to do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes from different places. I mean, dreams can be a thing, and when you're in that sort of state of between consciousness and dreaming, I can come up with stuff like that. but like the characters, Geek Girl and Cabra have got an arc, so that comes kind of from the characters, like what's going on with Geek Girl, who was this popular college chick who's become this superheroine almost by accident, is that she kind of got thrown into this situation, but her arc is going to be not that of a Clark Kent Superman, because she's a flip on that. She's like the cool kid that, because these glasses initially mess with her and make her super klutzy, she's like the cool kid that becomes the geek rather than the other way around. At least that's the initial, when she's not used to the powers. So she loved being Ruby K, this it girl, and as a result of being Geek Girl, she's been put in a coma, had her looks stolen by Identity Thief, is in this HQ, which doesn't seem very secure because random villains keep getting into it, which is how Cabra Cini is going to make her play. So she's not really loving life being a superhero. So to go back to your question, you have your initial idea, but where things go comes from the characters.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing with Geek Girl in her progression, which went from it girl to superheroine, but now she's kind of had she'd alienated her cool kid friends when she became a superheroine, because the super tech in her glasses that give her super strength she wasn't used to. She was super klutzy, knocking drinks over people. They're very shallow. It didn't take much to make them turn away, but now she's got an opportunity to come back with them. This is as a result of Identity Crisis, which is the next arc of Geek Girl. So due to this identity thief villain stealing her identity, this is getting quite convoluted, I appreciate, for people that haven't read the series, but she gets to sort of see what she's lost, and she kind of liked being Ruby K, the it girl, more than risking her life being this super heroine who, hey guys, that she's ended up in, and by accident. So I think we have a natural progression that goes through the arc, in terms of the direction Ruby K goes in, based on her experiences while being Geek Girl.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of just coming up with ideas, yeah, as I say, dreams. I mean, I'll come up with an idea, and then, like, because the way things go with this Cabra Cini Geek Girl crossover, it's quite out there. So to make everything work, it's taken a lot of crafting. So a lot of it is not just coming up with ideas, but consciously developing it, and you know, despite it being as out there as it is, still making it to some degree grounded. And whereas at some point during the proceedings you may not entirely know what's going on, for it to all make sense in the end and not just be weirdness for weirdness sake.
It's just like I made a brand new character up. I've been talking about it for a minute. I've just kind of dived into like the customizing stuff, because I thought I would never be good at it, painting and all that. But over the last few months, I lost my mum. This is what's kind of made me do it more, because I lost my mum back in February, and I didn't want to just be sitting about moping. I wanted to start doing stuff. So I kind of came one of my favourite characters from He-Man and decided to make a female version, but a female version in like kind of the idea that I had kind of thing. But it took me nearly 2 or 3 months just to think of how I wanted to put this figure together, kind of thing.
Yeah. So which is the character from He-Man?
So the character for He-Man, my most favourite villain is Trapjaw.
Right.
Growing up, I loved robots, loved cyborg kind of thing. So I decided to make my own kind of version.
Nice. Yeah, very cool.
Nice. Yeah. Cool.
I would have loved to try to keep it like the same color scheme, but it's a total different
Yeah, well,
character.
you want it to become its own thing. You don't want it to be,
And like G-Force scheme, I was like, how am I going to do the jaw? That's the thing that puzzles me. So G-Force gave me an idea of using a Lego visor.
Yeah.
So I just from in just doing a pair of nips and just cut kind of thing out. But that was because I didn't want to really destroy the head, John.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's
I
cool.
wanted to try and keep the head, and like that visor there's just a normal visor as well from Lego.
That's cool.
And I kind of made my own shield and then give her her own. And it's like the legs were that was done by mistake. I started painting it, but it's like the paint wasn't. It's like the legs, the way I've done like the weathering on the legs, that was done by mistake. Because I started painting it and then realised it's like you meant to get like a rough sand down kind of thing so the paint hangs it. So when I started wiping it off, it's like it was getting this thing and I just kept it like that.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Yeah.
And as John also knows, is that I've also done one of my other favourite characters, and she's now in the Star Wars universe.
It's cool, Baz.
It's like I love Star Wars, I love Harley Quinn, so I made my own.
Yeah.
Made my own trooper.
Harley Quinn trooper. Yeah. That's cool.
And then John should recognise these two. Well, he should recognise this toy because the majority is dollar stores over there.
Yeah.
So we're eventually getting these guys over here, John.
Yeah, the
So I kind of
final faction.
I kind of repainted two of them.
Yeah, I saw that online when you posted pictures. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Just to make them, I mean, fair enough, the colours on them were okay, but they were just a little bit on the bland side. So I just wanted to kind of have a couple of like the main leaders of this kind of race of symphonids, and I'm thinking about doing the brutes as well, and
yeah, because they're all just one color when you get them, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit lackluster. That's cool.
Yeah, just for example, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of, we're talking with my friend Rory and everybody else that does kind of customs. It's like you start getting ideas, and it's like how do I put my idea on picture when I'm not very good at painting? But over the last few months, my paint has kind of come along a little bit.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it. You just do things more and more, and you get better and better the more you do it.
No, definitely.
Yeah. So Sam, do you have any other ideas in mind, or are you sticking with Cabra Cini and Geek Girl for now?
I mean, this is once we're done with this crossover, as I say, things are going to be different. So for the moment, that's the big focus. I mean, the kind of point of the Kickstarter is to bring more people into one or either or both books ahead of this. So it's all kind of building to that, and then but I mean, both characters, I've got plans way beyond that, so I'm invested. I mean, I'm if anyone in the chat is reading Deadpool, I'm interested to see how that's going at the moment, because I used to have a big thing about sort of gunning to work on Deadpool, but I wasn't at a level where I think as a creator that was a realistic proposition at that time. But having done Geek Girl, it's now on issue 12 currently, plus the 4-issue miniseries, and Cabra's been doing a while. I think I'm in a more realistic position, but part of what motivated me to want to work on Deadpool, apart from the love of the character, was I wasn't really feeling what they were doing with the character at the time. And I've got just so behind on my comics reading that I'm not up on what's going on. I know Cody Ziegler is the writer at the moment, but if anyone's in the chat is reading it, let me know what you think of it, because it certainly looks interesting. And they are doing this thing where they say they're going to kill him off, which they have said before. Now, I think they're getting a bit trigger happy with the killing off things. I mean, I've seen, I don't know if anyone follows Moon Knight. Mark Spector was killed off. Hey, Mr. B. Mark Spector was killed off, and he's already coming back. And Kamala Khan, I think, was dead for about a week. So
Wolverine kind of died twice.
Wolverine is like a revolving door. But the idea of killing Deadpool is that he can't really be killed, is the idea. So no one's been able to do that before. And this guy Death Grip is, I don't know, he's got some sort of obsession with death or something. I've read stuff about it, but I'm behind. I'm trying to read Deadpool in continuity, and I've got to read Uncanny Avengers last series before I get to this new one. But yeah, I mean, they're saying that like the beginning of a new arc starts with him dying. So I'm definitely intrigued. I mean, they tried to do this before with Daniel Way in the Dead arc, but they didn't really kill him. So that was kind of a red herring.
I'd be interested how they actually do kill him off, because I mean, if he gets his hand cut off or his leg, it grows back eventually. So
exactly.
If you cut his head off, and then his body's going to grow back eventually.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what they do with it, and where they go with it. And as I say, it's slightly different from someone gets killed at Marvel and then they're back again within the year, which he is going to be back. But I am interested, at least in terms of how they can kill him and what happens while he's dead. And also,
some of these deaths are like kind of, because I mean, like when they did it with Sabretooth, they chopped his head off and buried his head in a different, far away, so that theoretically. But then later on, I think they dug his head up and his body up and stuck them back together, and Sabretooth woke back up or something like that. I mean, I don't mean to like. It was a little bit more than that, but it's sort of a simple. Hey, look, here's Granda.
Hey, Granda. This is dying. You are, yeah, it has been for a while. Granda here is my cohort on Geek Girl, the artist. Yeah, and it does lose. I mean, that whole Miss Marvel thing where she was dead, not even in her own book, in Spider-Man. And then they did a whole like funeral issue. And then I want to say 2 months later, she's been resurrected because she's a mutant, so they can get resurrected. And it's just, the problem with this whole thing is you don't get, when someone dies in a Marvel comic, with the exception of Uncle Ben, and I think that's about it, they're gonna come back.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
because even Gwen Stacy came back.
Yeah, I mean, Gwen Stacy.
They do it in DC all the time, and they kill a character off, and then a couple of episodes down the road, he's back.
Yeah. I mean, I think that as well is problematic. I mean, at least if you are going to kill them, don't be soliciting them coming back to life before we've even read the issue where they get killed. Again, Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't. Yeah. I mean, like with the Avengers, there's talk of Tony Stark wanting to come back, whereas the way that was written, it was a meaningful thing, and I think if he does come back, there's not really any way to do it that's not going to sort of cheapen the impact of his sacrifice. The only way that it could be done without that is having him as like an alternate reality version. So there's that. But I think it's just Marvel haven't suggested that he will be coming back. It's just
I know I've heard rumors that myself, even for the new is Iron Man 4, that it's meant to be his daughter. He's meant to be kind of coming back into that, but I think it's going to be like dream sequences and all that.
Yeah, because I mean they've done something like that in the comics where it could be like a sort of projection of him. So you could have him in it without actually resurrecting him. That's another way to do it. I think, much as I'd love to see him back, I do think it's dodgy territory to bring him back because of that being kind of the linchpin of the end of, you know, the whole Infinity Saga and everything that we're building up to.
Mm-hmm. Chris said it'd be interesting if they decided to bring a drunk Tony Stark back from an alternate where he was an abusive, absolute loser and jerk. Yeah, with that one comic run where they ran where he was. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple, because that again, like if you're talking alternate realities, they did the thing. I think it was called the Superior Iron Man. They did a series where he was just carried on being an alcoholic and just basically turned into an arsehole. So there's ways to do it without just literally bringing back the Tony Stark that's dead.
Yeah. I think in the MCU, it's different than the comic books. I think they have to, for ordinary people to get on board, they have to have a very meaningful and interesting way of doing it for the films, you know. But I do think it has to happen in order for the Marvel films to carry on, because people want to see. I think the reason that a lot of these other Marvel films are not doing as well is because the general public, who's not into the deep dive of comics like some of us might be, they generally just want to see the main characters. They want to see Iron Man, Thor, Incredible Hulk, Captain America. And if you've written off Iron Man and Captain America, you're down two of your most popular heroes for the films. So they have to bring them back in some way in order for them to carry on. Because
I mean, I don't think they necessarily have to bring back to sustain. I mean, I think the thing with these characters is it's not hard to understand why the legacy heroes, the legacy versions of Iron Man, Captain America, etc., aren't as popular on TV and on cinema as the original characters, because that's how it's gone in the comics as well. You know, the legacy characters can't really sustain. I can't really think of one that sustained their own series. I mean, Miss Marvel is a good character, and I really like the actress that plays her, so I want to see her. But you do want the iconic characters. However, that being said, you know, this Deadpool Wolverine is blowing up. So another route that's suggested is, you know, the Marvel cinematic universe haven't done X-Men yet. People want to see X-Men. X-Men 97 cartoon, that did great.
Oh,
so
amazing.
I don't think it's got to be bringing back, you know, Steve Rogers and Tony Stark. I think if they do the X-Men well, if they do Fantastic Four well, I mean, again, these are, you know, of a similar level characters, then it could, you know, come back to being the blockbuster franchise it was. But I think, as I say, it's not surprising really that when you focus on legacy characters that aren't that popular in comics, that they're not that popular on cinema and TV either, because those are the characters. They're not the iconic characters that, you know, Bruce Banner, Steve Rogers, Tony Stark are.
Yeah.
As I say, it'll be interesting with this new Deadpool movie and Wolverine. Is that the trailers that you're seeing? You've actually seen characters from the first kind of movies that they did for X-Men. Like they've done Sabretooth's comeback kind of thing. The guy that plays Sabretooth is bad. It's like, this is going to be a really weird from a kind of mashup of characters here.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting away with that by doing, it's the whole multiverse thing. Like Deadpool gets involved with the Time Variance Authority. I'm hoping Loki. I love, as much as some of the Marvel series haven't been going down that well, I thought the ending for Loki was sublime, and I want more Loki. But this movie, it can't fail. Ryan Reynolds is the man as Deadpool anyway. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. So this is what could.
The thing I'm looking forward to, Sam, is that we're finally getting a proper Wolverine kind of costume. It's like previous Wolverines has just had that black. He's never that kind of got shown off in Wolverine 2, that when he got the suitcase opens up and it's got his cowl and that kind of thing. But after that, we never got to properly see a proper Wolverine costume in the MCU kind of thing. So I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, and
I don't have the cowl yet in the trailers, but I'll be interested to see what it actually is. Is it going to be a mask, or is it going to be some sort of helmet?
Because there's multiple of these teasers. In one of them, you see him with like the eye things as well. But yeah, they've done well with that, because the yellow costume could look pretty, if not done well, could look terrible. There was a thing when they first had a shot of it, and people were saying with Deadpool and Wolverine walking next to each other, it's like mustard and ketchup. The mustard and ketchup. But now you see it looks good. It looks good. Another thing with Marvel's direction, though, is Deadpool is now kind of like their biggest gun. Now, I think it would be a mistake to make everything about Deadpool, because like in the comics, when they've overkilled on Deadpool, then the quality suffers. The reason we're looking forward to this film as much as we are is it's been a while, and it's not like Deadpool's appearing in every other thing. So I don't think, though, much as Deadpool is the self-proclaimed, whatever term he uses in the trailer, the savior of the Marvel universe, I don't think you don't want too much of him.
Like Mod says, like he brings up, the only one that did kind of work was Guardians, and that surprised a lot of people, I think. But that was due to they did a good casting on that, though.
Absolutely,
and great writing for that first film.
Yeah, I think Guardians 1 is maybe my favorite Marvel movie. And like the soundtrack is such a big part of it as well. And I think a lot of my favorite films, the soundtrack is so integral. So yeah, that was great. But that was like, it was done right. And as you say, the cast was spot on. So that the cast was so good that it's just like you enjoy those characters, whatever they were doing. I didn't really rate the whole Kurt Russell dad thing in the second one. I think some people went to it. It didn't really do it for me. But like, even like the Christmas special was
that was good.
With Drax and I forget the name of the Mantis. That was great fun. And completely inconsequential, but you love spending time with these characters and their dynamic. It's like when you've got like a really good sitcom, like a Seinfeld and a Friends, it's just whatever they're doing, you know what these characters are, and you enjoy whatever it is that they're doing.
Because I enjoyed the last Guardians of the Galaxy, because it kind of gives you a little bit more idea into Rocket, because Rocket was always that kind of character that always acted hard. But you knew he was suffering, kind of thing.
There's nuances to those characters. I forget his name, the blue skin guy with the spin head as well. I mean, that was the best thing about the second one for me was him as the I'm the real,
Yandel.
I'm the real dad. Sorry.
Yeah, I think his name is it Yandel, John?
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. And yeah, I'm the real dad / I'm Mary Poppins were highlights of.
I know. I didn't like the way they killed him off, kind of thing. I thought he would have kind of. I know he went to save him, but you think they would have been able to save him, kind of thing. I hate when they do movies like that and they kill off a character that you really get, and even though he could be an absolute idiot, kind of thing, but you want him to be in the rest of the movies, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, then it has an impact when they die. Whereas, you have some films, some characters where they get killed and whatever, move on.
Yep. So I got to answer Gap's question here. No, I didn't polish it up. It's the old. My good camera and good laptop are up at the house because I had planned. So I went up on vacation and drove up to Georgia to go to Joe Fest. It's a big G.I. Joe convention with comics and toys, and we met a lot of people in the YouTube community and in the toy and comic collecting community up there, and had a great time. And I had planned on my way back stopping at the house and spending a couple days with my mom, but I ended up giving a ride back to someone that was up at Joe Fest that lives down near me. So we just drove straight through. So consequently, I left all my good equipment up at the house. So I'm using the old laptop with a really old camera. That's why I look kind of fuzzy and not high def,
I know, because you and Scuba kind of had fun with the flag in the swimming pool.
Yeah. Scuba put the flag in the pool. Yeah, it was great. And then he attacked one on the show floor with the Godzilla, But yeah, arguably outside of us nerds, Iron Man was a little obscure until he hit the movies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he technically was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yondu, that's the one. Yeah, Yondu.
Yondu. Yeah. I mean, he was elevated, certainly. I mean, he was.
Yeah.
You could say the top Marvel movie character, which he certainly wasn't in the comics.
In the comics, yeah. Yep. Well, Sam, before we get going, we've gone about an hour. I'm going to bring this back up here. We've got. Hold on a second. Where am I? Here we go. This was it. Yeah, we're at. Let me refresh this. So we're at 2519. About over 1,000 over your goal right now. So it's, if you guys back this comic, you're definitely going to get it. It's already been funded. It was funded within the first 48 hours. We got 18 more days to go, and both Cabra Cini and Geek Girl have been great, in my opinion. I love reading the comics when they come in, and the artwork, the covers, all kinds, everything about it. Especially especially Ruby K and Geek Girl. I like the idea of how she got her powers, the glasses, the costumes, the characters that are in the comic, and Cabra Cini is a great addition to that universe, and it's growing on me with every issue. You know what I mean? And I can't wait for this crossover event. That's what I'm waiting for, is the crossover event. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
But also bringing it back to I didn't use the tagline. I think bringing it back to what we were talking about with Marvel and earlier Doom Patrol. It's I describe it as a kind of blend of Jessica Jones, Deadpool, and Doom Patrol. So if any of those appeal, so you've got the weirdness, you've got the darkness, you've got the humor. She's quite a character, a scenery chewing character.
So Tom, so see the character is it Cabra? Is she a good or is she bad or is she like a kind of in between?
Well, she's a hit woman, so there's that, but she's not like indiscriminate. So, and she's very damaged where she comes from. As I say, former hooker. Her boyfriend was also her pimp who abused her. So she's kind of messed up, but there's a kind of morality there. And another big thing about her that becomes a big part of when we're building to the crossover is she had this daughter Isabel, and what she feels is the only good thing she's ever done is giving up Isabel for adoption so that she wouldn't be part of Cabra's life, despite Cabra having removed herself from the hooker pimp whole situation, but she has an addictive personality. So whereas she's now not on crack, she's addicted to voodoo, which she's kind of making. She's developed this bastardized version of voodoo magic, and like it's quite dangerous, not only for those around her but for her. I mean, she's utilizing the spirit of a voodoo warlord at one point who doesn't really like being utilized, and this imposition she makes on the Rook by going through the infinite dimension, he doesn't want her doing that. So she's kind of projecting this I don't give a shit thing, but she's kind of, there's a vulnerability in her actions. She's an interesting character with layers, and in the miniseries we see quite why she is how she is. But she's also fun and funny. So yeah, an interesting character that I have planned.
No, it's just that you said earlier, Geek Girl, and they'll be fine kind of thing. That's what's kind of wondering: is she bad? Is she good, or is she like an anti-hero kind of thing?
So you could say she's an anti-hero, but the thing with where the conflict is going to come in with Geek Girl is she's not hired to off Geek Girl. It's a member of Geek Girl's super team that she's there to take out. She doesn't do freebies, so she's not wanting to take out Geek Girl. However, Geek Girl's super team colleague is in danger, so Geek Girl is going to get between them.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
So
That sounds very interesting, and the way you're describing it's kind of intriguing me here.
Yeah.
Thanks. I've just noticed Mod Extra there. What did I think of the Doom Patrol show? I haven't seen all of the third series because it's like pretty much unavailable in the UK. Third series, I mean fourth, I think. Loads of it I loved. I didn't love what I've seen of the final series so far, but I'm hoping it'll come back. But there's loads to love in it. The Casey Brink episode was great in the fourth series, and I mean I think the Chief was terrific in it as well. There's plenty to like. I love how out there it is and how much it takes from the Grant Morrison.
I've only watched like the first season of that series, but man, I love Roboman. I think Blazer played a good character for him. Like,
I mean the cast are all good. I think Larry Traynor, I think started off better than it went. Larry Traynor I find quite well. Not liking the comic and kind of a bit wet. I like Rita Farr. I like Dorothy. As I say, I don't overwhelmingly think everything about it is amazing, but I think there's a lot to like, a lot in it, and some of the weirdness that they did. The Dr. Time episode where this guy's gone back in time and decided the best point in time is to be in a disco rink and just relive that over and over again on a loop. I don't think that was in the comics, even though the character was. So there's great stuff in it. As I say, I haven't been able to see all of the fourth season yet, but I will one way or another get to watch it all, and yeah, I'm into it. It's good.
Yeah, Gap, real quick, meeting Rob was great. We got along great, and it did take us a couple hours to split the tub, and it was even more of an issue when I got that tub home. I've got a bunch of lots on eBay and hundreds, maybe 1,000 parts that I'm currently going through and sorting. So it was quite.
That was a good for me. That was a good haul that you got with that big tub.
Yeah, it was quite the crazy thing to do, and I don't know if we'll see how it works out in the long run.
I know I'm not the like on there of the GI Joes, but I believe there were quite a few whale shells I think I seen in there.
Yeah, and there were Bombas and wolf parts and snowcats and snowmobiles and thunder machines, and yeah, it was just we bought Sam. We bought this giant bin. Rob's Retro on the Instagram. Him and I met at Joe Fest at this convention, and we bought a giant bin of toys. It was basically like parts from vehicles and things.
Yeah.
So no vehicle was complete. There was just random parts all in there, and we split it. And Rob took half home, and I took half home, and it's been quite the chore to sort of go through and
I can imagine
sort it all out. And you know, there actually ended up being a couple vehicles that we got most of the vehicle. You know, like so it was kind of interesting to put all that stuff back together and figure out what you got and what you need and things like that. So
that made you feel like a 7-year-old again when you got that vehicle for the first time back in the day.
Yeah, because you got to rebuild it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, presumably it's like a Frankenstein's monster type thing where you're mashing it up with other bits.
Yeah. Well, Mod's running out. He says, I got to bounce. Great to meet you, Sam. Good luck with the Kickstarter later, guys. Bye, Mod.
Same Rod, thank you.
And yeah, okay. So yeah, congratulations on getting your next issue funded. I look forward to getting it. I've already backed it, and hopefully you'll get some more backers from here in the crowd that we've talked to. I think we got a couple people that keep up with your comics now that we've
sure Well, yeah, Salacious, where the hell are you, Salacious? But he's one of them, yeah.
I'm surprised Rum didn't pop by to gloat on his win from.
He was giddy with his win.
Yes, yeah.
Just expired.
Yeah. But yeah, I wish you well with anything else you come up with. Can't wait for the mini series. Sam, is there anything you want to hit on before we go?
Katy Perry. But no, CabraCini.com. Kickstarter, yeah, running for a bit yet. You can get up on Geek Girl, you can get up on Cabra Cini, and it's a good jump on point for both series. So
yeah, and all the links are in the description of this video. Links to the Kickstarter, links to his website, and the Twitter account, X account, whatever we call it nowadays. And yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, X. And yeah, highly recommend it. It's really good. Baz, you should get one. You should check it out.
I need to.
It's a good jump on point right here. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it won't be a lot.
Especially when I say to that, I jump onto Rex's channel, the Devil Flyer. There's a few. He always does creators. Majority it's all American, but there is a few British guys as well. And that's what when I've jumped on, it's like that's perfect for you because it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg for like shipping and taxis and all that. You'll be able to just get it shipped right up. The octopus cowboy wasn't a British one because I would have definitely backed that because that looked interesting.
What's the actual name of that?
I can't remember. I need to phone in and speak to Rex.
certainly
Or next time Rex is on, I'll need to phone and ask him what the name of that comic is because the artwork for it is amazing, man. He's got all his tentacles with him and with pistols and shotguns. It's just amazing.
Yeah, no, it sounds like quite a thing.
Yeah.
Runs in monkey jail, apparently.
Yes, apparently. Yeah. It could just be that he needs to get some sleep before work tomorrow. You know how
It
things
could be.
go.
It could be.
He's probably overexcited because I think England went through tonight.
Yeah,
After everybody doubting them.
somehow. So I had a bet on them to lose, and then they somehow scored 2 goals in extra time. So, yeah. But my girlfriend was watching it, and apparently they were still awful despite managing to win 2-1.
Well, thanks a lot for popping back on with us, Sam. I always appreciate talking to you. It's good to catch up and always good to see your success continuing with these comic books. I'm always rooting for you, you know?
Just before we disappear, John, I'll just quickly show you these vintage comics that I got just before we go.
Oh, all right.
So I got the Blade Runner one.
Nice. Always like the movie comics.
I got the Sergeant Rook.
Nice, yeah.
I got Atlas Comics, The Tale of Evil.
Ooh, that's a good one. Great cover there. That's an awesome one.
Yeah, that's cool.
That cover because I love werewolves, as you know.
Yeah, no, that's a great cover. Yeah.
And then I got Spider-Woman as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Not often that you see proper like old comics because I can even smell the old smell. It's weird thingy.
Yeah. Well, I think back in the 70s, they didn't make their way over there that much. You had to get reprints.
I believe these ones are actually American comics, but they must have somehow come over here.
Yeah, come over. That's what I mean. They don't.
Because like that one, that one was only 15 pence back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was 25 cents.
Thank you, Mr. B.
Great seeing you again, Sam.
That one was 20 cents.
Leave it to Baz to be sniffing his comic.
And that one was 60 cents.
Yeah, 60p. Yeah.
Well, you can't help it, man. It's
the
old smell.
Well,
the same with like the annuals as well. It's like you open the annuals up and it's like you get that old.
Yeah.
Smell.
Yeah. And Baz, thanks for joining us again today.
Thank you, Baz. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet yourself, son. It's kind of like I say, I've been jumping on the Devil Flyers, and I'm keen because he's majority comics. It's like myself. It's like last year we kind of started doing our comic streams on a Wednesday kind of thing, and then I started watching like your first 2. I ended up going back and picking up other comics because I was only picking up the Harley Quinn stuff and the Suicide stuff. So, thanks to John, I've got like 4 big totes now.
Yeah, I know that. I know that situation.
So if I got the boot sale, if there's anybody selling comics, I'm picking them up, and then I'm going to my local comic book shop to see what comics they've got.
Yeah.
But thanks to John, now I know I've went from 1 tote with Harley Quinn comics to like 5 or 6 now fully comics.
It's nice to have variety. Man can't live on Harley Quinn alone.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, so thanks, Baz. Appreciate you popping in. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, I guess check out Cabra Cini Voodoo Junkie Hitwoman on Kickstarter. Great jumping on point for both this and for Geek Girl. And we'll look forward to the crossover issues in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, excited for those.
And love to get you back on when those are going,
100%.
Night, John, Sam, and Baz. See you all again. Yeah.
Aisha. Yeah, we'll certainly reconvene for the crossover. As I say, I put a lot into this. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure, Sam. Thanks a lot.
As always.
We'll catch you guys later. Bye, everybody. Stay awesome out there. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Cheers, guys.